Welcome, crypto fam, to the #1 daily Bitcoin pod. In today's show, I'll be breaking down the latest Bitcoin technical analysis, as well as breaking news just in. The SEC just declared war on crypto. That's right. Today, Uniswap Labs received a Wells notice from the SEC. I'll be breaking this down for you, as well as the latest from the high priest of Bitcoin, Max Kaiser, quoting him here. Rates bottom. The 10 years going to 8% plus. Inflation is out of control. Bitcoin, $220,000 in play. Send it. Also, more breaking news, yo. Hong Kong set to approve their spot Bitcoin ETFs next week, according to these latest reports. Are you prepared? I'll be breaking it down for you, as well as Bitcoin halving price influence has been diminished. Demand, that is, now a key driver, according to analytics platform Crypto Quant. We'll also be discussing trader Peter Brandt predicts breakout rally for Bitcoin amid this basic bull market pattern, but there is a catch. I'm also going to be sharing with you a $169,000 Bitcoin price prediction post-Bitcoin halving. And we're also going to be discussing the latest from Novogratz, who was recently interviewed and projects Bitcoin hitting as high as $400,000 this cycle. We'll also be taking a look at the overall crypto market, all this, plus so much more in today's show. Now, welcome, crypto fam. We back above 70 G's, baby. Hallelujah for that one, right? What's good, digital dankness? Good to see the fam in the building. Shout out Abel Gonzalez. Let's go having 80 G's. Send it. Robert Fox. Good to see you, family. Let's not forget, this is a live and interactive stream each and every day. So let me know where you're tuned in from, of course. Greatly appreciate all the interaction in the live chat. Let me know if the stream is loud, clear, and smooth. Always appreciated. Much respect. Shout out Greg. Shout out Devon. Good to see you, fam. Juan, good to see you. Zach, Peter, the Palestinian, K-Jam, Marseille, what it do? Good to see y'all, especially the mods out there. Shout out Jennifer as well for holding it down. Mr. Bone Daddy says, let's freaking go. Big news against Uniswap, yo. I just found that news right before going live. We're going to dive into that as well. You know what I mean? SEC crackdown on crypto. Could this be the end? Oh, hell no. But you already know the battle will be ongoing. They're not just going to let crypto do its thing. We know that for certain. Los Angeles, shout out. Shout out to LA, Zach. Mr. Modes, LCS. Bring it. Loud, clear, and smooth. Thank you, Dankness. Mike check. South Mississippi in the building. Shout out Farrell Ferris Fox. What it do? Pepe to the moon. Says, yeah. Do you follow the Bitcoin guy on the treadmill? No, I'm not even familiar with the Bitcoin guy on the treadmill, so no clue. Polaris Stillness. Greatly appreciate you subbing to the pod family. Pump the likes to pump the stream. Another historic day. We only got 8 days until the Bitcoin halving, family, roughly. Can you check Doge and why it is jumping? We will be doing our market watch here in a moment. We'll take a look at that. Good morning, Melbourne, Australia. Shout out my Aussies. Shout out Chris Robinson. Good to see you, Jennifer. Shout out to the mods. Always a pleasure. Devon in the building. Rocket shit to the moon. You already know. Let's go. Yes, man. It's been pretty wild. I guess we just entered Q2 here 10 days ago, but thus far this year it's been pretty wild. And I think it's going to get more wild. I think we're just warming up here personally, especially leading into the halving. The most bullish time of the year. Can I see 450,000? It's very possible. Definitely going to be discussing that today. In fact, Novogratz says we could see that this cycle. Brian Armstrong did a great interview with the Hoover Institution last week. It is a must watch. Thank you, Bone Daddy. Hola, crypto family. Shout out to the UK. Matt Baker in the building. Dutch boy listening to JV. Greetings from Amsterdam. Shout out to Amsterdam, my man. Grayscale in the boogie in the ointment with its outflows. Shout out Silas to the moon. 8 days left till lift off. Tell him, buddy Mac. My call, gold 10x, silver 25x, Bitcoin 100x, 1000x. By 2026, let's go.
Pump it up. Pump.
Let's go. What up? What it do, JV? I'm in place to be crypto news. Let's get it, Tip Tyler. And check it out. I found an alternative to soda pop. We got sparkling water. And check out, there's only 3 ingredients: carbonated water and lime juice. No sugar added. No artificial sugar such as high fructose corn syrup added. Only 2 ingredients, so it has my official thumb of approval. You don't get no better than that. That's how products supposed to be. Clean. No poison. Poison-free drink. However, it is in a aluminum can, and aluminum is poison. I mean, nonetheless, I digress. Hey, family. Shout out Eric Perez. The Bitcoin treadmill guy is Jason Casper. I didn't even know, is this a real thing? Does he share the news while on the treadmill? Much respect to get into that fitness while pumping it up. That's what's up. But I never saw him now. Add a shot of vodka, says Greg. For the best show. Appreciate that. It helps out tremendously with the Algo family. Respect. Devon, let's go. Greetings from Budapest, Hungary. What's up? Welcome, Budapest. Appreciate you tuned in here. A lot to cover here in the news today. A lot of breaking news, of course. So you're in for a treat. Shout out Chris Robinson. If you're new to the channel, important, smash the subscribe button, family. Trust, this is the #1 daily Bitcoin pod. We're here each and every day, 7 days a week. So you already know we will be broadcasting during the halving, after the halving, every day after the halving, every all-time high. Correct. Aluminum lined with plastic. I'm aware of that, Matt. Aluminum cans have plastic layer insult. I don't know. Just looks like aluminum. But nonetheless, plastic is poison as well. So I'm not perfect. I am drinking water out of my cup, but today I just felt like, some carbonated lime flavored water. And it's pretty good. Aldorina, welcome to the pod family. JV's in your car. Good. That's what's up. I should be in your car. What it do, JV? Shout out, Kevin. Mike Tyson, that like button. Let's go. Appreciated, family. Respect. Since Monday, GBTC has dumped like what? 457 million in Bitcoin. Only 1/3 has been scooped up by the ETFs, but the ETFs buy on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday closing. Good to point out there, Greg. Thank you for that one. Evening all. South Africa in the building. Shout out Claude Schultz. Appreciate you tuned in. Let's get it, Stephen Farrell. Welcome to the stream. Let me ask you, do you genuinely believe Bitcoin can reach close to even 7 figures? I wanted to believe bad, but I refuse to sell what I have for the next 5 years. Body Delight, very good, genuine question. Absolutely. Bitcoin could very likely hit $1 million. It's roughly, I'm guesstimating 13x from here. From 50 grand, it was a 20x. From 10 grand, from 100 grand, it's a 10x. From 50, it's a 20x. So we're getting closer and closer. Bitcoin, it's gone up millions of percent since inception. So for anyone to say it's not possible, I think is delusional at best. What are your thoughts, though, family? Let me know. I love your lives, brother. Thank you, Alex Chavez. Appreciate that, Chavez. What's going on, Trini? I sold the other day and took some profit. But here's the thing. It doesn't necessarily mean just because we're bullish on Bitcoin, it doesn't mean $1 million overnight, right? For us to do another hypothetical 15x from here could take some time. Could it happen this year? Yes. Is it most likely going to happen in the years to come? Yes, in my opinion. And I can be wrong. I'm just a YouTuber, putting together a podcast for entertainment purposes only. So take everything I say with a grain of salt. I don't know anything. And honestly speaking, I don't think anyone really knows anything but what we've seen in the past. But it's hard to judge the future, right? For an asset like Bitcoin, when there's not so much historical evidence, minus the 15 years we have seen that come before us since the Genesis block. So we got to keep all that in mind and be as realistic as possible about it, but also genuine. I genuinely believe Bitcoin will hit $1 million. That's why I can say it with such conviction, right? I know it's going to happen. It's just a matter of by what date, what year will it happen is a better question for me. Thanks. Yeah, I still have this money while I'm still relatively young and handsome, and I can still walk. And no, I'm aware it won't happen overnight. Right on. I think we're on the same page, and I think most of us here would probably agree with that sentiment. I made it last minute, doctoring my injured duck. Whoa. Well, Jennifer is superwoman. Got all these animals, taking care of the ducks today at the hospital or the doctors. Good Lord, respect. I would say 500, 600,000 tops this cycle, over $1 million next cycle. My prediction, not financial advice. I'm pretty much with you on that, Phil. I would agree. JV, good salt. Yeah, collect that salt. Sprinkle it in your pasta if you have to. Do what it do. Is the GBT selling finally almost over? They've been saying it's been over, but they keep selling. So as long as they have Bitcoin on their balance sheet, you never know. I kept telling myself that last night. It says Jerome Smith. Right on. JV says Ben V. Right on. But anyways, fam, if you're new to the channel, important, smash the subscribe button to receive daily premium crypto news alerts every day, 7 days a week, just like this. Also important to smash that thumbs up if you're gaining value out of today's content. It also helps out tremendously with the YouTube algorithm. So support your boy, support Bitcoin, support our movement. It's greatly appreciated. Today is pod episode number 1605. I'm your host, JV, and it's April 10th, 2024, just roughly 8 days away from a Bitcoin halving, something that only occurs in the crypto sphere every 4 years. But let's kick it off with our market watch. We're on the cusp of 70,000 at the time of this recording. Bitcoin back in the green while all the major alts are still correcting and in the red. And checking out coinmarketcap.com, we're currently sitting on a 2.61 trillion market cap with over 92 billion in volume for the past 24 hours. Bitcoin dominance at 52.8% with the Ether dominance at 16.2%. How high do you think the Bitcoin dom is likely to climb for this particular cycle? Let me know in that live chat. And checking out the top 100 crypto gainers. For the past 24 hours, we got ENA up 14%, Ordi up 5%, and Doge up 6%. That's right, Doge is up now 15% on the week with a $28 billion market cap, actually closer to 29 bill. Below that, we have Beam, BNB, Pendle, and XMR, which is Monero. And it's kind of crazy how all of the privacy cryptos have fell off from where they were previous cycles, right? Why do you think that is? Let me know your thoughts. Now, checking out the crypto bubbles to get more of a visual perspective on the daily. Definitely clear. The majority of the alts are correcting and in the red with a handful in the green with some impressive gains. But zooming out on the monthly, you can see still even, I'd say roughly 70% to 75% of the alts correcting and in the red with a handful pretty respective gains like Core 230%, Ton 135%, ZBC 55%, and Jupe 75.5%. And even WIF, the meme coin, up 57% now in the month. And checking out the Crypto Greed and Fear Index, currently rated as 78. Extreme Greed, yesterday 80, last week 71, and last month an 82 in Extreme Greed. We keep an eye on this because the higher this number goes, the more likely of a correction. And checking out the Bitcoin halving countdown. The estimated halving date is currently scheduled for April 19th, roughly 8 days, 22 hours away. Are you pretty ecstatic for the Bitcoin halving? Let me know your thoughts on that. We're currently on block 838,652. As soon as we hit 840,000, that's when the fireworks begin. That's when it is official, and the daily Bitcoin being awarded to the miners gets cut from 900 biddies per day to 450 Bitcoins per day. And checking out the time chain calendar is just loading. I don't know what's up with that, but it is what it is. But anyways, fam, where do you feel the Bitcoin price action is likely to take us leading into the halving in roughly a week? Holla at your boy. Now let's check out some of the comments here. Shout out to everyone joining the pod. Tika predicts 200,000 at a minimum. Word up. Pretty much in alignment with what JV has to share. My prediction as a bear scenario for the cycle peak is 222 G's. And my bull scenario is 750. Shout out Tika Tawari. He also lives out here in beautiful Puerto Rico. It's going up forever, Laura. Tell him. True news. The Vikings invented what? What are we talking about there? What Grayscale is doing is giving us a chance to buy Bitcoin on a sale. As long as they keep selling, I will continue to keep buying. Well said, Jennifer. Great perspective. That's the silver lining for sure. I love speaking Spanish in public places. The looks I get, says Kevin. I feel you, big dog. Patching in from Santa Barbara. That's what's up. Shout out Moonstone, Santa Barbara in the building. What up, everyone? What it do, Surge? Shout out to all the mods. Greatly appreciate y'all. My older daughter and I were speaking of Japanese and Latin in a supermarket. The looks we got were hilarious. How many languages do you speak, Jennifer? I'm talking Superwoman over here, does it all. Looking forward to my second halving at 80,000, 75,000. Yo, there was actually a YouTube channel I used to watch, and he speak fluent Mandarin, which is the Chinese official language there in the mainland, and he'd go to the Chinese restaurants in the States, and he could understand it perfectly clear because he probably lived in China for all we know. But long story short, it's interesting when he just fluently starts speaking Chinese, and the Asian, the Chinese's faces in the restaurants was like, because it just looks like a regular old, gringo or white skin, individual. But nonetheless, I digress. It is hilarious. I would say it drops to 55,000 halving, then skyrockets to 90,000 before the end of the year. What's all the buzz about for the halving? What's the buzz? Historically, 3 previous halvings, the year preceding the halving, we hit a cycle peak. Every time. That's what history has shown us. And it's pretty substantial. I think the first halving in 2012, by 2013, Bitcoin ascended like 12,000 plus %. So that's why it's a big deal. Bitcoin is going to rip. Will it necessarily rip as high as it has back on that halving? No. But what if it did a modest 4x and we got to 400,000 or whatever it is, 5x? You know what I mean? Who knows? We could 10x. We may only 3x. Nobody knows. But nonetheless, we're all pretty confident as the demand increases and the supply gets chopped in half, numbers go up. That's why we say Bitcoin has number go up tech. You know what I mean? Rump it up, pump it up, jump it up, do what it do. DJ Davey Park in the building. JV, awesome show. Appreciate you. Right back at you, family. Just keep stacking them sats. That's the name of the game. 7 languages, Jennifer. Whoa, I can understand 10 and I'm not fluent in them. Good Lord. Did you work for the CIA? That's incredible. Just want to say, Jennifer is the most interesting individual in our live stream. Not only did she adopt Bitcoin back when it was only $400, but she speaks 7 languages and has a chicken farm and does all that great stuff. She babysits dogs. I think it's called dog sitting, and does a lot of cool things with animals. So respect. I speak English and hillbilly. At least you're honest there, Susie Carr. I know a little bit of the hillbilly language. Limited order filled, bought the dip, says Larry Innes. That's what's up. Congratulations. Keep stacking them stats. Having on 420, we'll light a big spliff. Please light a spliff every episode when you're tuned in to JV. It's just something you do. You know what I mean? Knock it out the park. Let's go. My youngest knows Japanese, German, and English. God bless him. That's amazing. I know how difficult it is to learn a secondary language firsthand. Living in places like Costa Rica and Puerto Rico, living in China. It's ironic. I can speak more Mandarin than I can Spanish, and I only lived in China for a year. And I've lived in Spanish-speaking countries for too long. Mind-boggling, right? Shout out from Rio de Janeiro. Ishing in my Brazilian pants with the market today. The alts are retracting pretty bad every time Bitcoin drops. Where's the alt season? In my opinion, Robson, we missed alt season, meaning it already occurred when no one was anticipating it. When you saw the meme coins up thousands of %, and literally every meme coin and altcoin was in the green, killing it for the past previous months. Y'all must have forgot. But don't worry, after Bitcoin ascends again, you'll witness another alt season. At least that's what I'm anticipating. JV on my laptop and Good Times Burger. Oh, word. Is that an actual burger joint called Good Times Burger? I speak Bitcoin. That's my official language as well. I can relate. It's just a cloudy day in New York City. Can you say New York City? 70 G's, baby. Let's go.
Pump it up. Pump it up. Look.
Why are the alts so closely linked to the Bitcoin price? Because Bitcoin is the dominant apex predator in the market, and more than half the market cap is Bitcoin. So when Bitcoin is doing well, typically a lot of the money will flow from the king, the apex predator, and trickle down into the alts. But vice versa. If Bitcoin is not doing so well, the alts get wrecked and take the biggest beating of them all, right? So there's a saying, a rising tide rises all ships. So everyone who is an altcoiner, ishcoiner, whatever you want to coin yourself, everyone should be praying for the success of Bitcoin, because without the success of the Biddy, there is no success existent in the altcoins. Just saying. So all hail the king. Hallelujah. Let's rise, right? New all-time highs, 6-figure mode, send it. God candle, Allah candle, Omega candle. Let's go. And send a Buddha candle while you're at it. There's only one language. It's the language of Bitcoin. Yeah, aka the language of love. I fully agree. But anyways, fam, let's dive into today's Bitcoin TA and check out what's really happening right now in the charts. Bitcoin witnessed a 0.5% drop of the Wall Street Open today as markets responded to US CPI report, printing higher than expected figures. Here you're looking at the Bitcoin daily chart. Now, data from TradingView showed that the price dropped 2.5% from the April 10th opening of 69,000 to the intraday low of 67 on Coinbase. But the good news, we started pumping right before before I went live, and we're right back at 70 G's, baby. But anyways, the Bitcoin price reacted to the March CPI data, which exceeded expectations. The inflation in March rose 0.4% month on month and 3.5% year over year versus 0.3% monthly increase and 3.4% year over year estimates from the Dow Jones Economists Survey. Quoting them here, the index for the shelter rose in March, as did the index for gasoline. Combined, these two indexes contributed over half of the monthly increase in the index for all items. The energy index rose 1.1% over the month. The food index rose 0.1% in March. The food at home index was unchanged, while the food away from home index rose 0.3% over the month. That read the official press release from the U.S. Bureau of Labor Statistics. Now, the reason I'm not so fascinated with none of these data points that are printed by anything to do with the Fed, like CPI, whatever, is because they can just fudge the numbers and tell you anything they want you to believe to change your perspective on reality. But nonetheless, the markets do react to this stuff. According to the CME Fed Watch tool, traders are placing the odds of a June rate cut at 20%. At this time, and this means market analysts are betting that the U.S. Fed will hold the rate steady in May and June, with the first possible cut being made in September. Let me know if you agree or disagree. And quoting the Kabisi letter, odds of a rate cut in June are down from 60% before the CPI report to 22% now, so clearly that has changed the game. Now, meanwhile, the tapering off of inflows into the spot ETFs is dampening the short-term outlook for the Bitcoin investors. April 9th outflows from GBTC totaled around 155 million, according to data by BitMEX. Overall, the spot Bitcoin ETF saw net outflows of 18.7 million, marking the second consecutive day of negative inflows. Meanwhile, BlackRock's iShares Bitcoin Trust, iBit, had the highest inflow, totaling 129 million. Then we had Bitwise's ETF and Fidelity's Wise Origin Bitcoin Fund, FBTC, which came in second and third with over 3.8 million and 3 million in inflows, respectively. There was no capital inflow into the rest of the ETFs on April 10th. Now, quoting the founder and CEO of BitsCrunch, consequently, investors might anticipate a re-entitation of the bull market in the latter half of quarter two. Now, as you know, we are in quarter two as of 10 days ago, and I am pretty bullish for quarter two, considering we have a halving a week away. Now, breaking news that just came out right before I hit the live button, so I didn't get an official story, but here's what is reported. Altcoin Daily tweeted, the SEC just declared war on crypto. Uniswap, the largest decentralized exchange in existence, has over $2 trillion in total volume since its launch in 2018, ranked number one in most metrics, including over 6.1 billion in TVL. And today, Uniswap Labs received a Wells notice from the SEC. Mr. Gensler is at it again. This is typically the step right before a lawsuit. This is like the SEC suing the NASDAQ and expecting tech stock trading to continue in the United States. It wouldn't. It would all be pushed offshore. Will the crypto market survive an attack like this? Stick around for updates. But yeah, that's pretty alarming when the decentralized exchanges are being attacked by the SEC, because I thought the whole concept of having a DEX or decentralized exchange was there's no attack vector to go after. Who are they going to go after in this case? So it's actually quite interesting. Now, Max also tweeted, rates have bottomed. The 10-year is going to 8% plus. He also says inflation is out of control, right? We all know this. And he also says the Bitcoin to 220,000 is in play. Send it and let's freaking go. But what are your thoughts on the SEC's well notice to Uniswap? What's going to happen there? That is quite alarming. Let me know if you guys have used Uniswap before. Do you believe in decentralized exchanges over centralized exchanges? How do you think this will likely impact the market? Do you think it'll just drive everything overseas? I want to know your thoughts. Buck the SEC and buck the Fed while you're at it. Amen to that, Devon. Much respect. Hey, let's go. JV is a torch bearer. Yeah, damn straight I am. 480,000 coming. Send it, BS. STX is about to move into the top 10. Let's go. Shout out Stacks. I am bullish. Thoughts on BitX? It is a 2x leverage Bitcoin ETF. I'm not too familiar with it, so I don't have any insights there. Typical SEC BS FUD, says Hoover Jam. The SEC will continue if Trump gets voted in. I am late. What up, JV and fam? Welcome, Coos Dog 66. The Weasel needs to go. And speaking of the Weasel that needs to go, this one's dedicated for y'all.
Too many frauds and scams.
This clown's trying to take us down. What a guy. Wow, what a guy. Wow, what a guy.
Bitcoin is becoming mainstream. The SEC and the government are scared of the king. I will trade on overseas markets using a VPN. More power to you, Jennifer. Thoughts on Athena? I'd never even heard of it. I'm not familiar with it. It has ETH in it. Y'all know how I feel about ETH. Hey, y'all, a little late to the pod. Nice to see y'all. Good to see you relaxing. JV telling them to self-custody. We have because of JV. No more worry. That's right. The number one thing you guys should be doing, self-custodying your crypto. Get them off the exchanges, 100%. Uniswap will counter the suit for the SEC. I'm just curious, being as decentralized, who's the person who stands up for the decentralized exchange, in this case, Uniswap? Is there an individual appointed, like, I'm your leader? That's why I'm wondering. Is there a leader who's going to represent on behalf of the decentralized exchange, or how does that work? Discord, big game December. Jose be what? Antigua, February 16th. Another 70 incoming. Send it. All the other streams are calling 48 to 59. I don't believe it. Are you serious? Why would they be doing that? What kind of streams are you guys tuned into? So does this mean 100,000 Bitcoin is happening this year? Right? So here's the thing. JV doesn't tune into anybody else's stream. Every once in a while, I'll tune into like the Orange Pill Pod with Max Kaiser. But so I have no clue what's going on with the rest of the channels. But that doesn't, I'm like surprised, but not surprised at the same time. Bitcoin terrible buy right now. How do you say that, Justin Edwards? Tell me a not so terrible buy right now. I'm curious. None of your keys, says Automan. That's right. Not your keys, not your cheese, dog. Did the Hong Kong ETF take off? No, but it may take off next week. That's our next story of the day. Stick around. We're going to be discussing the ETFs being launched apparently next week, according to these latest reports. So get prepared. Wasn't Lil Bubble supposed to drop a halving joint? Well, he did drop a new joint called Bitcoin's Going to Zero. It's all going to zero. And I actually downloaded it for the Rumble uncensored version of the pod. We're going to be playing the new video from Little Bubble. We'll check out the track together. Long live crypto. Let's ride. Let's ride. Get high, get high. Shout out to my little bone thugs back in the day. Just boning biggie, biggie. Just boning biggie, biggie. I'm trying to FUD Bitcoin. Relax and ride the roller coaster. There you go. Hong Kong will need to load up before the halving, says Tennessee Eco Man. Doge, Theta Fuel, any AI coin, says Justin Edwards. So, okay, so you're saying Bitcoin is not a good buy, you're saying, but Doge, Theta, and Theta Fuel and any AI coin are superior. Interesting. JV, keeping it real, no drama like the other channels. Save the drama for your baby mama, if you know what I mean. Goodbye is a time machine to go back when exactly. If we could only enter the wormhole and have no fear about that, like go through the Bermuda Triangle and see what happens. If you can somehow, get back to 2009, 2010, cop some biddies and come back unharmed, escape, right? The wormhole, unscathed, right? Anyways, Little Bubble said he's making a halving track. Right on. He said he was making a whole album basically off those Michael Saylor rants. I'm looking forward to that one as well. I believe Bitcoin will hit 100,000 this year, higher next year. Said it. Athena is a synthetic dollar developed on the ETH chain. Oh, wow. So a stable coin. A lot of hype around it. Is that the proper term? Wouldn't it be a stable coin if it's a synthetic dollar? Save the drama for the Rumble. There we go. Bitcoin falls to 55,000 in 8 weeks. Doubtful, but hey, anything's possible. Kronos coin is going to have a huge month. April should get explosive for y'all. ETF launches before the halving. Valentino. Bitcoin October. Big games. Big gains. Save your drama for the baby mama. Precisely, Devon. Precisely. This is the Bitcoin channel. Stop trying to push the alts. We already won. Ooh, very deep there, Jennifer. Bitcoin trying to raise up. Let's go. 70 G's, baby. I love Bitcoin. Tis the king. I agree with that. But now it's going to retrace after the halving. Good day, everyone. That's what Justin says, at least. Not this JV, but this Justin over here in the chat. I know one thing. This is what's happening. That's right. Don't forget, red dot, stock to flow, official as of March 1st. We got the first red dot printout on the stock to flow model, which means bull cycle, bull territory for the next, virtually for the next 18 months to 2 years. There is time for memes, but that is only after Bitcoin cracks and holds the all-time high and moves north. Then high risk on dollars will migrate towards the STP coins. There you go. Any idea what the UAE and Qatar are going regarding their sovereign wealth fund? I mean, there's speculation. Is all I can share at this point. Stablecoin, correct? Yes. Lots comparing it to Luna, but you know how that went. Yeah, of course. Let's not compare anything that you want to have a positive impact to Luna, considering Luna was a fraud. You know what I mean? Just pretend you arrived here today from the year 2034. What would you do? Where would you go? I want to know. I got a question. What would you do? Bitcoin supply shock coming. Send it, crypto colon, and let's get it. But anyways, let's dive into our next story of the day. Pump the likes, pump the stream. This is big news coming out of Hong Kong. Check it. Hong Kong regulator fast tracks the Bitcoin spot ETF approvals. You can see a headline here. Hong Kong set to approve spot Bitcoin ETFs next week, according to this latest report. So let's break it down. We've been discussing the ETFs coming out of Hong Kong. Only a matter of time, so it may be time next week. The Securities Regulatory Commission of Hong Kong has reportedly expedited the approval process for 4 spot Bitcoin ETFs. 4, baby. Let's go. According to the local news outlet, Tencent News, the first batch of the spot Bitcoin ETFs is set to be approved in the region by April 15th, which would mean right before the halving, potentially 5 days before. The report cites multiple sources close to the Hong Kong Securities and Futures Commission, stating the Hong Kong regulator initially planned to approve only 4 of the spot ETFs in the first batch, but recent announcements suggest that while Boshi Fund and Value Partner Financial are poised to join the pending regulatory approval, we also have Harvest International and China Asset Management, who have already progressed in leading this crypto investment advancement. Let's go. After the SFC of Hong Kong greenlights the initial set of the spot Bitcoin ETFs, the Hong Kong Stock Exchange will require approximately 2 weeks to finalize the listing procedures and related arrangements. The upcoming endorsement of spot Bitcoin ETFs in Hong Kong heralds numerous prospects for institutional and individual investors. As retail investors are granted entry to Bitcoin investments via the ETF purchases, the investment landscape stands on the brink of a significant shift. That's right. Now, the CEO of SFC emphasized the need for responsible use of innovative tech like distributed ledger technology and tokenization to improve efficiency in the financial industry while ensuring investor protection during a keynote speech at the HSBC Global Investment Summit. Additionally, she highlighted efforts to align corporate reporting standards with sustainability disclosure standards and promote informed investment decisions aligned with sustainability goals. The anticipated approval of the spot Bitcoin ETFs in Hong Kong would happen about 3 months after the SEC approved the first batch here in the States. Now, currently, the top 10 spot Bitcoin ETFs manage roughly $57 billion in assets, with the leading trio representing more than 88% of the total, with that trio being IBIT, which is BlackRock. We got Fidelity, which I believe is, I don't even know the name. And then there's one other there. But anyways, they have the lion's share. And traditional institutional investors show greater interest in crypto as the stock market performance becomes lackluster. And to boost local Web3 adoption, Hong Kong ZA Bank recently planned specialized banking for stablecoin issuers, offering secure custody for fiat reserves to collateralize digital assets, and the announcement was on April 5th, which was just 5 days ago. So what are your thoughts on Hong Kong launching these 4 ETFs here within the next 5 days? Holla at your boy. And how do you feel this will likely impact the market as the institutional FOMO, like a mofo, continues to go and grow? Love Bitcoin, but going for greater gains at this point. Coins with small and mid caps, says Justin. That just means you're more of a gambler. Respect, to each their own. At no time in Bitcoin history did it go to the all-time high before the halving. We're in a super cycle, says Jennifer. All the other cycles were broken. With this one, you make a great point. This is history in the making. Phase 3 is still a buy phase. The big picture is more important. Zoom out. This is a super cycle, not just a cycle. There you go, Wolf. And I think that's a great feedback there. When in doubt, just zoom out. Y'all must have forgot. It does after 18 months. That's right. We typically hit the cycle peak anywhere from 12 to 18 months after the halving if the 4-year cyclical cycle that come before us maintains intact. So that's a big if. I'm in Colorado at Good Times Burger and Shakes, enjoying those Good Time burgers and shakes. Why don't you have a chocolate thick shake for me there? Why not? I have a burger for me, says Jennifer. I felt bullish on Hong Kong. You feeling it? Crypto surge? Me too. Let's go. Hong Kong, big money coming out of China and Asia, family. Singapore, Malaysia, a lot of money out there. I'll buy Bitcoin again. And yes, I am a gambler, loving the system. Right on, Justin. I was a noob in 2021, bought a few other projects, and that was a mistake. Stick to the biddies, says Siamano. Zoom out, love it. Perfect observation. Precisely. 50% of the bag is biddies. 90% is the goal. Right on. Right on. I think the higher your, how can I put this? The higher your unrealized gains become, the more you will allocate into Bitcoin. Would you agree with that sentiment? Let me know. Since we're talking about burgers, I may be going on a cruise on Saturday. You guys might not see me for 7 days. Shenanigans, I'm calling it right now. Now, don't get me wrong. I have no doubt you're going to go on this cruise, but you have access to the internet, big dog. To tell me you can't say hello and pop on the stream, just head to your cabin, make sure you have the internet package, join the stream, or better yet, while you're poolside on your cruise, sipping margaritas or whatever it is you guys do, tune in on the stream. You got a phone, right? You should have access to the internet. We're living in 2024. Don't be a stranger there on the cruise ship, please. If I go on a cruise, I could say the same thing. You're not going to see me for a week. In fact, I've been on a 16-day cruise. What if I said, yo, I'm going on another 16-day cruise with Princess Cruise Lines? You're not going to see me for at least a half a month, but it's all good. No, I'm going to be like, yo, I'm going live every day on the cruise. I can't help myself. I just need an internet package. We'll make it happen. That's just how I think anyway. So no pressure, Surge. Go down in a big crash. It's a liability. Exactly, Marcel. Exactly. Tulip Mania, a.k.a. US dollars. Tell him, Marcel. No doubt, JV. Just gotta say. But no, I hope you go on that cruise, though. Enjoy it. Cruises are fantastic. You'll probably gain 10 pounds while you're at it. I'll subscribe to the channel. Looks okay. Good vibes. Well, thank you, I think, Justin. Thank you. Let's all go on a cruise trip. That'd be pretty lit. What if we all did that? We had a cruise party, right? But here's the downside. Remember the Titanic? They said some rich banker folks sabotage the ship, take all the mofos down with them. So we don't want to put too many Bitcoiners all in one place at one time, especially hardcore purists like ourselves, because who knows? JP Morgan may sink the ship for all we know. Just saying. Anything's possible in this crazy world. Forbidden by the government? Yes. Let's have a Crypto News Alerts cruise. It would be pretty lit though, right? Maybe a mastermind. Not too. You could even rent out the ship, right? You get like 1,000 people on a cruise. Some of the smaller ship, we can just rent out the entire ship. I've been on a ship for a company, and they rented out the entire ship. It was only people from our organization. Shout out to Wolf and Lover. I appreciate the sub, family. Means a lot. 100,000 Bitcoin cruise party sounds pretty lit as well. Unlimited food. Justin Edwards, I appreciate that sub, fam. Before I go, I heard Europe is banning hard wallets in 3 years. Good luck to that. That's like saying I banned Bitcoin. You can't ban a hard wallet. Want to know why? Because you don't need a hard wallet. You could just remember the seed phrase in here, and boom. How can you ban something in your memory? That's like banning free speech. It can't happen. They could try to scare you into that, but yeah, good luck is all I got to say. Not going on a cruise with Bitcoiners, not doing the Titanic. Exactly, Jennifer. Exactly my sentiment. But anyways, family, here we go. Let's discuss this Bitcoin halving around the corner. 1 week out, family. Let's break it down. Supply shock. Send it. The Bitcoin halving won't impact the price of Bitcoin as much as many of the investors anticipate, according to a new research report by Crypto Quant. Quoting them here from the report, we argue that the effect of the halving has been diminishing as the new issuance of Bitcoin gets smaller relative to the amount of Bitcoin selling from the long-term hodlers. Instead, the key driver affecting the price of Bitcoin following the halving this time will be the increase in demand from investors with sizable holdings of Bitcoin. That would mean the whales. Demand from the whales holding between 1,000 and 10,000 Bitcoin has grown to around its highest ever, seeing 11% growth month on month, according to Crypto Quant. So while the Bitcoin halving reduces the supply, typically putting upwards pressure on the Bitcoin price action, there have been a few instances between 2021 and 2023 where the monthly demand from the long-term hodlers has exceeded the supply within the same time frame. That's right. However, the current gap between them is much larger than ever, suggesting that with an ongoing monthly supply deficit, the halving's effect on the Bitcoin price action might not be as powerful as it has been in the past. Long-term hodlers are now accumulating about 7 times more Bitcoin per month than the new Bitcoin entering circulation. Now, quoting the report again, permanent holders are adding as much as 200,000 Bitcoin per month to their balances, but much more than the 28,000 Bitcoin issuance. Bitcoin's monthly issuance will decrease 14,000 after the halving. It gets cut in half, right? Furthermore, the total issuance of Bitcoin plummeted to only 4% of the total available supply, a significantly smaller proportion compared to the previous Bitcoin halvings. Now, quoting the report again, issuance represented 69%, 27%, and 10% of the total Bitcoin available supply for the previous first, second, and third halving. The first one was 2012, the second 2016, and the third was in 2020. Now, after the 2016 halving, the price of the biddies increased by about 4,200%. I stand corrected. Earlier, I said, what did I say, 6,000%? But hey, 4,200, not too shabby. To 19,800. That was actually the second halving, though. And after the 2020 halving, the price of Bitcoin increased by almost 683% to 69,000. So I take that back. I was correct. The second halving was 4,200. The first halving was probably like 12,000%. It was outrageous. And it gets a little smaller each halving, according to, 12,000 to 4,000 to 683%. The Bitcoin halving event is when Bitcoin miner rewards are cut in half. The upcoming halving will reduce the block rewards from 6.25 biddies to 3.125 BTC. At this time, the Bitcoin price is sitting at roughly 70,000, and we only have roughly, 8-9 days to go until the halving, depending upon when we hit that block. However, other indicators suggest that investors remain optimistic that the upcoming Bitcoin halving, currently slated for April 20th, will be a major catalyst. 420 family, let's go. Meanwhile, open interest is in Bitcoin, currently sitting at 78 billion, just 11 days away from the halving or less. Some say maybe 8 days, depending upon what calendar you're looking at, Now, open interest measures the total value of the outstanding or unsettled Bitcoin future contracts across the exchanges. An uptick in value suggests heightened market activity and trader sentiment. Synonymous trader Rec Capital suggested that any price dip in Bitcoin between now and the halving is likely to bounce back quickly. That's right. Bitcoin down for the cause, never down for the count. And quoting him here, do you realize whatever downside Bitcoin experiences before the halving, if any, will be very last bargain buying opportunity in the 2024 pre-halving period ever, because it's going up forever, Laura. Now, I agree with that sentiment 100%, and I've been calling that these dips, take advantage of them. They're very short-lived. That is normal, only a few days away from a halving, and expect more extreme volatility ahead, leading into the halving and after the halving. Nothing's changed there, family. And again, volatility equals opportunity and life force. It's a good thing, so embrace it. True, then again, there might be DI, hires, the maintenance, debts for the airlines. I might not want to fly either. There are no Bitcoins in Fort Knox. Tell them, Marcel. If you're gaining value, smash the like. Thank you, Streamlabs. Don't you know? Pump it up. This one's for you, Leonard, and this is for Jennifer as well.
Pump it up, don't you know? Pump it up. You've got to pump it up, don't you know? Pump it up. You've got to pump it up.
You already know. I just sent $80,000 alarm on my phone for Bitcoin. Word, you just sent 80,000 alarm. What do you mean by an alarm? Oh, an alarm to get notified when we hit 80 G's. Nice. I didn't know you can do that. What app are you using? Bitcoin to 100,000. Send it. The buck stops here. 100%. Do you feel the pain of having money when there is a juicy dip? I don't feel pain having money at all. But I understand what you're saying there. Absolutely. Pump it up before you pull out. Bitcoin to the moon. And that's not very manly for the gentleman here to be pulling out. It's kind of disrespectful, but I know what you mean there, Devon. Is that kombucha in a can? No, this is something totally different. And I researched it, and there's no chemicals or poison in it. And it's very rare to have a drink with 2 ingredients. And the 2 ingredients here are carbonated water and lime juice. And they actually use real lime juice. and that's why there's no sugar. And I actually researched it deeper, and it actually is pretty legit. And I never heard of this drink until my daughter brought it home from school. Grateful she goes to a private school where they have healthy options, because instead of a soda like every other school, she had the opportunity to try sparkling water with real squeezed fruit. And she brought me home a half a dozen, and I've been drinking them up. And now I got to find them in the store so I can buy them, because I dig it. It's actually pretty good. So kombucha, I love it. Don't get me wrong, but I'm out. I got to go back to Costco. And one of the downsides, not all, but some of the kombucha brands are very high in sugar. And if it's a high sugar, it's not good for you. Sugar is poison. It's the worst thing you can put into your body. So if you don't know, now you know. I buy that at Costco. Nice. I'm going to be looking for that at Costco probably later today when I go to the store. Appreciate it. And I noticed they have different flavors because my daughter brought home different flavors. So there you go. You have an alternative to soda. If you're into carbonated water, you need that fizzle in your throat. Maybe you don't want to drink too much kombucha. Now you got some alternatives. Any memberships floating around? Just saying. I mean, some days we do get an incredible amount of memberships gifted. I drink 8 cans a day. Word, Michael. 8 cans. This is my first can. You're drinking it like an alcoholic drinking the beer. Alcohol free. Let's go. Crypto Pro and the iPhone, JV, for the alarms. Thank you for that. I appreciate it. I remember Blockfolio back in the day, but they got bought out by FTX, and clearly I highly doubt they're even around anymore. Bitcoin swings after the hot inflation data pushes the rate cut expectations in September, according to the CNBC. Crypto world, grapefruit is fire. I'm a fan of grapefruit personally, so there you go. Love me some grapefruit. I am a diabetic, but still love sugar. Damn, that sucks. Hey, what up, JV? See, I'm not diabetic, but I don't want to become diabetic, so therefore I choose not to love sugar. It's not that the sugar doesn't taste delicious. I choose not to love it because I don't want to be diabetic like other people in my family that eat too much sugar, right? And then they'll say, but it runs in our genes. I disagree. If I don't eat all that sugar you eat, I highly doubt I get diabetes, just saying. But anyways, organic cane sugar, there you go. If you're going to have sugar, at least make it natural. It's a better look, right? I love me some cane juice. I remember in not Puerto Rico. I'm in Puerto Rico, but I remember when I lived in Costa Rica, we'd go to the fresh farmers market. They'd have the cane sugar, and then they juice it, and you get a fresh juice out of that. That was pretty delish. And I also miss me some fresh cocoa water. Slashing open those coconuts, putting the straw right in, bada boom, bada bing. Those huge ones, where it's like a challenge to even drink it. Most hydrating thing ever. We knocked out all the sodas in my house. We drink salsa and cranberry juice. Good for you. Soda is poison. I don't allow soda in my house personally. Try cranberry juice with lime. I love me some cranberry juice. I guess I love all juice, though. I don't think I've ever had a juice I didn't really like. You know what I mean? GTSY, brother. I forget what that stands for, though. Bitcoin Trini. Enlighten me. Got to make your own kombucha, JV. It's easy and the best. I believe you. Man, is there a tutorial you recommend watching? So I'm actually kind of intrigued. If it is running in your genes, you have other problems. There you go. What about from natural fruits? Because I eat a lot of pineapple a day. Well, I think fruits are great. If you're going to get a source of sugar, it should be natural sugar. Here's one thing to avoid: artificial sugar. And one example of that is high fructose corn syrup. If that's the first ingredient in the drink you're drinking for you or your child, change that bad habit. That will lead to very nasty diseases, guaranteed. You know what I mean? Not health advice here. I'm not a health professional, but I know enough to know that high fructose corn syrup is poison and that it's in virtually every child's drinking food at the grocery store. So look for that one. You know what I mean? Fresh orange juice. There we go. I wear slacks, not jeans. Tell them. Ken, try monk fruit. Monk fruit. I think I may have had a natural bread made from monk fruit, and it was actually good because it was gluten-free. Is Bitcoin ever going to pass 70? Hell yeah. It already has once, and it will again. Mark my words. Fructose. Yes, fructose, whatever, not good. Guaranteed. It's artificial sugar. It's just cheaper. It's cheaper than sugar. Sugar is so bad for you. Just imagine how bad artificial sugar is for you. Let that one sink in. 100% JV. Lots of tutorials on YouTube. You need to find a Scooby. A Scoby? I need a Scoby, apparently. Scooby-Dooby-Doo. Woo! Just saying. Making a nice smoothie now with the beets. I love me some beets. Spinach, strawberry, blueberry. And here's a hack for the strawberries. You guys watch that viral video floating around where they take the microscope of the strawberry and they put like a 30x zoom on it, and you see all these freaking dust mites and creatures living inside your strawberry. Then they wash it under the sink and then they relook at it and it's still there, all the dust mites and little creatures. They say we eat on average 2 pounds worth of these micro insects and creatures every year because you don't see them. And if you don't see them, you don't think they exist. But lo and behold, there is a hack. Simply put your strawberries or fruit in a bowl, put some good water, not your sink water, maybe some water you buy in a gallon at the grocery store, something better than sink water, because sink water is just nasty. But nonetheless, all you got to do is put a tablespoon of baking soda in there and let your fruit sit there for 10 to 15 minutes, and it gets off all the dust mites and 96% of the pesticides, right? And there's no other way. If you just wash your fruit in the sink, you're really not removing much of any of the pesticides, unfortunately. So something you got to look into if you're into strawberries and fresh, fruit like I am, and you want to stop eating the bugs. Grandma has the most antioxidants. Granada. I think grandma. I'm like, my nutritionist says always eat protein with sugar. Protein with sugar. I don't know about all that. I went to the Smoothie King and had a nerd smoothie. It was surprisingly good. Good to note there. Buck the Fed. I use, monk fruit sweetener sometimes. Good to note. And 40 years old. Is Bitcoin going to go to 80,000 in my lifetime? 100%, Mason. In fact, I would dare say it's going to $80,000 here within the next few weeks. What do you guys say? You have well water. That's good. That's not common out here. I heard beer has all those vitamins now, I think. Oh, come on now. Baking soda, eh? Yeah, baking soda. You could also brush your teeth with baking. You can do a lot of stuff with baking soda. Baking soda clears fruits. Good to know. Yep. I saw that hack. I shared it, retweeted it over on X. Dust mites are a good source of protein. I'd rather not eat the protein, just saying. But anyways, fam, yes, let's get it. Next story of the day, Bitcoin rally. Let's go. And welcome everyone joining the stream. Pump the likes, pump the stream. Don't be shy. Here we go. Seasoned trader Peter Brandt says Bitcoin is flashing a common bull market pattern that typically precedes a burst to the upside. I'm going to be like, extreme optimism in this article just to keep myself entertained. The trader who gained legendary status after calling the 2017 Bitcoin collapse says Bitcoin may soon rally to around $80,000 as it threatens to take out short-term diagonal resistance. However, Brandt warns us that Bitcoin may witness a significant correction after the rally to follow a pattern commonly been seen in the Bitcoin bull markets. Quoting the analyst here, this same basic pattern has been common in the past bull markets in Bitcoin, as outlined here alongside the chart. Now, looking at the chart, he seems to suggest that a dump at around 58,000 will follow the lump or the leg up. If Bitcoin follows that pattern, Bitcoin will ignite a new uptrend after the dump phase. Now, at this time, we got Bitcoin trading at roughly $70,000. Now, the trader also shares his thoughts on the probability that the crypto markets will witness an altcoin season. And according to Brandt, it is within the realm of possibility that an altcoin season won't come to light based on the strength of the Bitcoin and the Bitcoin dominance chart. Now, the Bitcoin dominance tracks how much of the crypto market cap belongs to Bitcoin, and a rising Bitcoin dominance chart indicates that Bitcoin is outperforming the general altcoin market. Let's go. Quoting him here. What if there were, let me rephrase that. What if there won't be an altcoin season? What do you got to say to that? Now, based on the trader's chart, he appears to suggest the Bitcoin can make up as much as 66% of the crypto market cap. And after the Bitcoin dominance broke out from a multi-year consolidation between 39.5% and 48%, the trader is also keeping a close watch on Ethereum versus Bitcoin. Brandt says that the ETH/BTC may have triggered a bear trap after recovering a critical support level of 0.049 BTC, which is roughly $3,421. Now, a bear trap happens when an asset breaks below the support level, but quickly reclaims it to potentially trigger a trend reversal. So there you have it. Let me know if you agree or disagree with Mr. Peter Brandt. on that and that sentiment in which he has to share. There you go. I have a pear tree. I love me some pears. And have about 50 pears on it. I can't wait. What don't you have, Jennifer? My God. My biggest failure was investing in ADA and DOT. Oh, word. At what price did you buy at the top? Let me know there. Siamano. BTFD. What up, JV? Shout out Jesse Oro. They say Dubai has tax breaks on your old crypto purchases. Is this true? Here's my understanding of Dubai. If you're not from the States and you're not a U.S. citizen, it seems from my understanding that Dubai is a tax haven. Many wealthy people I know not from the States choose to live there, and they pay absolutely zero taxes. That's what they tell me. The wealthy people I know in my life that I have known and become friends with over the years, met at events or here or there, the wealthy people I know in crypto that are not from the United States, many of them live in Dubai and pay zero taxes. However, if you're from the United States and you're a U.S. citizen, my understanding, that don't work for you guys, right? You can't just be a U.S. citizen, move to Dubai and say, hey, I bought all this crypto in the States. I don't want to pay taxes. Hence, I'm in Dubai, tax-free. Unfortunately, the U.S. government will make an example out of you, right? Because we have more liabilities being in the United States. There's no way to escape taxes unless there's a few remedies, right? You need to like denounce your citizenship in the United States, become a citizen elsewhere, example, El Salvador, or move to Puerto Rico, right? You don't need to denounce your citizenship. You can just take advantage of their Act 60 if this became your primary residence and you lived on the island at least 183 days out of the year, and you can reduce your tax liability legally and pay 0% capital gains tax on all investments, including cryptocurrency. So for what it's worth, maybe you want to look into that one. And there's other advantages as well, right? But yeah, so yeah, if you're not from the States, you have more flexibility. You can probably live in multiple different countries as tax havens and not have to worry about it. From my understanding, not tax advice, this is just from me interviewing people and knowing people and doing research and relocating to Puerto Rico and taking advantage of Act 60 personally. But what do I know? I'm just some crazy streamer, right? Anyways, November 19th, big games. What are the big games? Which games are we referring to there, Nakor? JV has great info. Respect, Devon. Appreciate ya. I'm glad you're gaining value out of the stream for entertainment purposes only, not tax advice, not financial advice. JV is not speaking out of pocket here. This is for entertainment purposes only. Entertainment. In entertainment, we trust. I just got to be very clear here so you guys don't get the wrong idea and invest 20x long in an altcoin and lose everything you have and then blame my stream. I think JV was bullish on the altcoins and giving tax advice. And no, I don't give tax advice ever. And I don't give financial advice because I'm not a licensed financial advisor. Just saying, I'm not. I'm just some YouTuber at the end of the day. So respect. This is for entertainment. I'm an entertainer. JV the Entertainer. I'm going to rename myself. JV the Entertainer, okay? Are you not entertained? Exactly. JV is the man. Thank you, Bubba Fruit. Respect. Let's go. Hong Kong so we can knock out the park. 100K. Send it. Another catalyst that will get us closer. 100% Shaitan Patel. What if they go back to the gold standard? I think that'd be a good look in America. But do you think that would be a reality with Joe Biden in office? You're more likely to get the CBDCs, not the gold standard. Just saying. What's the name of the drink you're drinking? I can't tell you guys because there's only 2 ingredients. Carbonated water and lime juice. There's no sugar here, bro. So yeah, it's called Spindrift. And it's empty now. Back to the H2O. Just saying. In EU, you can use Bitcoin ATM under 1,000 EU without ID. Is that in the USA? Good question. Anyone here using Bitcoin ATMs, do they require KYC info? Do they want to know your personal information? Curious? Let me know. Yes. Infotainer. Thank you, McLovin. Precisely what I am. Better than having a dictator in office. Send it, Devon. Yes, I quit eating dry fruits and regular fruit and peanuts. Ate only strawberries, blueberries, raspberries, and lemon. Lost 30 pounds in 2 months. That's what's up, Joe Trump. More power to you on that. FJB. I doubled down on that. Hashtag FJB family. Love my spin drift, says Alex. Good to note. It is expensive to hang out in Old San Juan, Puerto Rico, is it? It all depends. There's affordable places to hang out in Old San Juan. Mark my words. There's plenty of vendors on the street. Very inexpensive. However, at the same token, there's very high-end. I would say the best restaurants in Puerto Rico are in Old San Juan and in Condado. But Old San Juan has what my friend claims is the best restaurant on the island and her personal favorite. And yes, it's a dining experience. Expect to be entertained with food for 3 hours and spend a lot of money. So what I'm trying to say is there's everything you could imagine. There's affordable places to eat where the locals would eat, and then there's places for the rich people and everything in between, just like any other major city. So just keeping it 100 with you guys. CBs and nations have been accumulating AU for a very long time. Stock to flow for the biddies will be higher than the gold after the halving. Gold is dead in my opinion. Don't they have a QR code? Scan the code with your wallet as JVC. I make my own carbonated lemon water. Dang it. I got to step up my game, or I need to marry Jennifer. One of the two. In Belgium, where I am, if you are a long-term hodler and pay 0% taxes, in Belgium. Oh, wow. So long-term hodlers in Belgium don't pay taxes. Good to note. Jennifer can make anything. Agreed with that sentiment. We know from firsthand experience. But anyways, fam, we still got a couple of stories to cover, and time has been flying today. So let's dive into this 169,000 target. Then we'll discuss the latest from Mike Novogratz projecting Bitcoin is a train that already left the station and trending towards a 400,000 price. But anyways, let's break down this 169,000 prediction. But a quick shout out to Nipsey, the official mascot of Crypto News Alerts. Let's go, Nippinator. Arf, arf, arf. Where my dog's at? We right here, dog. Where my dog's at? We right here. Ooh, and he's even talking to me now. Good to see you, Nippinator. We appreciate you here on the stream. But anyways, let's read our next story of the day, shall we? Bitfinex's alpha report delves into the Bitcoin past halving events since the first one in 2012, employing a regression model to forecast the potential impact of the upcoming halving. Despite acknowledging the simplicity of their model, researchers argue for a significant upswing in the Bitcoin value, projecting it to hit between 150 and 169,000. Let's go. This optimistic outlook is tempered by the recognition of the unprecedented market dynamics, such as the pre-halving, all-time highs, and increased selling pressure from both the long-term and short-term hodlers. Where my long-term hodlers at? HODL. According to the Alpha report, Bitcoin's price has shown considerable volatility with significant price fluctuations around that 70,000 mark. Much of this is due to the selling pressure from both the short-term and long-term hodlers. Now, the recent highlights of the consolidation phase Bitcoin is currently experiencing, with price fluctuating between 65,000 and 71,000. This period of volatility is punctuated by significant buying activity from the short-term hodlers, including new spot buyers and U.S. spot ETFs, which have absorbed nearly 900,000 biddies released by long-term hodlers since the start of the year. This shift underscores the evolving dynamics of Bitcoin ownership and the growing influence of institutional investments in the market price. And adding a layer of complexity to the Bitcoin trajectory are broader macroeconomic indicators. The Alpha report points to robust job market growth and wage increases here in the U.S., which could influence the Fed's interest rate decisions. Such economic conditions, coupled with the Fed Chair Jerome Powell's recent statements on inflation and monetary policy, provide a backdrop against the Bitcoin post-halving performance, which must be considered. So beyond the U.S. market, Bitfinex analysis touches on global developments affecting the crypto space, such as South Korea's impending stricter regulations for crypto exchanges and Australia stepping towards launching its first Bitcoin ETF. Let's go. Hong Kong ETF next week. Is Australia going to be next? Let's go. These international movements, alongside innovations in banking services for stablecoin issuers in Hong Kong, reflect a maturing market, increasing influence by regulatory and institutional actors. Quoting them again, the decision to list the ETF on the CBOE Australia is seen as providing greater confidence to regulators that the fund will be trading on an exchange that is part of the CBOE Global Markets, one of the best known international markets. So there you go, family. What are your thoughts on that? Can you see $169,000 biddy as a result? Holla at your boy. Mason's not allowed to tell you it is classified as Claude. Oh, word? What are we referring to there? Short what, bro? I'm hodling till I am 80. Let's go Barcelona. August to February, says G-Boy. Don't ever think this fact. The past 3 halving events average have led to 48%. 48x results within 2 years. Do your own homework. 48x. Let's go. That'd probably take Bitcoin. Holy moly. Man. Obviously over $1 million. I don't know the exact number though. Mine is about 7 years old. I haven't bought any yeast since I moved to South Carolina. My old starter, 20-year-old, died when I moved here. Word. Hodl V thy name. There we go. Tell him, Alan David. Oh my God, Jenny, I got a starter from a friend in South Carolina. Nice. It's like asking how tanned are you since you have Florida, California. Aussie. Oi, oi, oi. That's right. Tell him, Adam. I drink Gensler juice. You're not alone. This one's for you. Everyone drinking the Gensler juice, this is for you.
And let me just say,
Guess who's back?
Back again. Gensler's back. That's right. You can't short your dork. We can't afford that.
Pump it up if your game and went long. When the dip hit, you just stayed like King Kong. More than 5 shots in your stack, then get it on.
Your friend says it is the best restaurant on the island. As you go to Lady, everyone going to China a couple of weeks ago. Sounds like a good time down now. Yeah, we keep this on the DL here. You know what I mean? I try to keep my personal life a little bit on the DL, but yeah, man, you guys you know what's good. Time in the market beats timing in the market. That's right. It's hard to time the market. Everyone thinks they're a genius until they get put in their place. You know what I mean? Like, for real. Mr. Bone Daddy, if you got more than 5 sats in your stack, pump the like. Come on now. And if you're hodling 0 Bitcoin and you watch this podcast every day, what are you doing with your life? It's like Smokey from Friday, right? It's Friday. You ain't got no job. You ain't got ish to do. What else are you going to do with your life? So just saying, if you're streaming, watching my stream every day, and you have 0 sats, what's up? Just saying. 48x would be 3.3 million. Good Lord. Whoa. Send it now, please. Gary Gensler was mentored by Caroline Ellison's dad. And that's probably true, right? I got a gang of Bitcoin. 48x. I mean, that's pretty amazing. I can totally see a 48x. I can see Bitcoin 100xing in my lifetime, right? Easy peasy. So I know it'll come. I'm patient. I'm so thankful for my bear market buys, not one regret. What's in the Spindrift? I can't tell you guys. What was I going to say? THC. There you go. My big reveal. It has 100% THC in it. So JV is not himself today, apparently. I just watched Friday a couple of weeks ago. One of the best movies. Yeah, absolutely. One of the best movies of all time. That's a good way to put it. Little Bubble dropped a new mix with Elon Musk. Elon Musk running amok. Anyways, fam, because of the time, we got to get into our next story of the day. Let me burp. Give me a second.
Had the people on my back to get us on. Reds broke, have a toke, we smoked them like a bomb. Oh yeah,
we heard Kramer report that. Devon says, just joking, JV. It's all good. We love you, Devon. Yeah. But anyways, fam, now for our feature story of the day. Let's discuss the latest from Mike Novogratz. The billionaire says great setup coming for Bitcoin and precious metals as potential rate cuts loom. In fact, he goes as far to predict Bitcoin reaching $400,000 per coin. Let's go. Here's the latest from Novogratz family. The founder and CEO of Galaxy Digital believes looming rate cuts by the Fed are bullish for Bitcoin and precious metals. That's right. Novogratz tells his 500,000 followers on X that the rate cuts may be bad for the U.S. economy, but good for Bitcoin. He suggests rate cuts will increase liquidity, boosting Bitcoin, and that more investors will view the king crypto as a safe store of value in uncertain economic times. Quoting him here, call me crazy, but I don't see one good reason for the Fed to cut the rates, yet think they will. It is a great setup for Bitcoin, gold, silver, and copper. It is not a great setup for the USA, though. We need a politician who will cut spending dramatically. Sound of silence from DC. Now, in the interview with analyst Scott Melker, Novogratz says the Bitcoin may soar beyond his base case of 100,000 this year in 2024 as the US's mounting debt threatens to debase the US dollar. Quoting him again, what worries me, quite frankly, is that we do get into the runaway train in crypto. There is a scenario where you can see crypto become a runaway train. It is just a self-fulfilling and it eats itself. You are not at 100,000, but you're at 300,000 or $400,000. It is not my base case, but I can make that scenario up. So he's ultimately saying his base case is 100,000, but he will not be surprised if Bitcoin just is like a runaway train to 300, 400,000 per coin. He can see it. Now, continuing, that's not good for society. Society doesn't like all these new people. That's right. And the elite don't either, just FYI. But anyways, how did that guy get so rich and I am not? It is what creates revolutions. It creates wars. It creates a breakdown in civil society. We can have wealth transfers at a moderate pace, but when they happen at rapid paces, it really is often not good. I think Bitcoin can go up just because of adoption, but to see it explode, usually it will be because we are losing control of our debt. So he's ultimately saying the debt is out of control, in which it is. We have roughly 35 trillion in unprecedented debt, and that debt's only likely to continue, and they're going to have to continue to print. So as a result, he's saying things are going to get out of control, and he can see that runaway train, a Bitcoin hitting 300,000-400,000 per coin. 3 to 4x his base case of 100,000. And to watch the interview he actually did, check the show notes below the video in the description. Now, let me know your thoughts. Do you feel we can have that runaway train for this cycle, potentially even here in 2024? Can you see a $200,000, $400,000 Bitcoin price? Holla at your boy and let me know. My personal prediction is my bear scenario is 222,000. So I'm virtually 2x his base case for my base case. And my bull case is 750,000 per coin. I firmly believe the Bitcoin has no top because fiat has no bottom. They're guaranteed to continue to print the money. And as the money printer continue to go, Bitcoin is just going to continue to skyrocket to the moon, hitting unprecedented levels, just like we've witnessed every cycle that come before us. But what is particularly different this cycle? Institutional FOMO like a mofo, right? We're talking the 3 ETFs that launched 3 months ago, already over 800,000 Bitcoins worth of volume, right? BlackRock now has over 250,000 BTC, more than MicroStrategy, controlling more than 1% of the supply. So between MicroStrategy and BlackRock, that's 2% of the circulating Bitcoin supply, right? You also have unprecedented demand, which never existed previous cycles. We have a very limited amount of Bitcoin. Now we have ETFs about to launch out of Hong Kong, Australia, El Salvador, other countries around the world. We already have unprecedented demand. We're going to have a supply shock. We have a presidential election. We have a Bitcoin halving. The halving reward's about to get slashed in half in 1 week. There's just so many bullish catalysts. It's not even funny, right? Previous cycle, 2021, November 10th, we hit the all-time high of 69,000, driven purely off of retail, zero institutional FOMO. The big money comes from the institutions. They have all the money in the world, right? BlackRock is worth 10 trillion. Fidelity is worth 4.5 trillion. What's the one that bashes Bitcoin, but they have indirect exposure through MicroStrategy as a primary shareholder? What's the name of that company where the CEO is stepping down and they bash Bitcoin? For some reason, I can't think of the name, but you already know, family. We already know what it is. We also have nation-state adoption. We have countries secretly buying up Bitcoin. We have sovereign wealth fund adoption. You got the largest oil company in the world partnered with the largest Bank of Japan, getting into digital assets. What's the #1 digital asset in the world? Bitcoin. So you guys already know it's about to be runaway train, never come back. Remember that track back in the day? On a one-way track. Vanguard, thank you. Vanguard haters, the CEO is stepping down, so good for him. Enemy of Bitcoin deserves to step down. But yeah, the primary shareholder of MicroStrategy is Vanguard, the same corrupt organization bashing Bitcoin, but they are the second largest, right, asset manager in the world, next to BlackRock. BlackRock 10 trillion, Vanguard, I don't know the exact number, I'm going to speculate 8 trillion. And then we got Fidelity 4.5 trillion and all these other asset managers that come under them. So there's big money out here, family. Bitcoin Vanguard. Pretty much, Bigfootinator. Pretty much. Yes, I remember, JV, I called BlackRock. Now I call a 15x from here. Over 1 million runway. Let's go. 1 million, baby. You already know it's happening. The only question is, will it happen this year? Will it happen next year? Could it be this cycle? Will it be next cycle? But I'd be very, what's the word I'm looking for? I would not believe Bitcoin hitting 1 million proceeding after the 2028 halving cycle. Like, I firmly believe we're going to hit 1 million. Either, like, I'm not leaning on this cycle. I'm leaning towards next cycle, but I'm open to the possibility it can happen this cycle. But I definitely think by the time of the 2028 cycle, it's a given. Like, we'll be well beyond 7 figures by that time. That's my personal prediction by 2028, potentially 2029, right? I think it happens. This cycle, multiple 6 figures, then let's hypothetically just say we were 250,000 Bitcoin. Let's be on the more conservative side. Then all we got to do the next halving in 2028 is another 4x. And then we're at $1 million per coin. But what if, hypothetically, we did more the bull scenario this cycle and we hit $500,000 per coin by 2025? Then all we need is a modest 2x from the 2028 cycle to hit $1 million. You're starting to understand how easy and feasible this truly becomes. And some of you guys are still questioning, but will Bitcoin ever hit $80,000? Serious? Like, serious. Just saying. But anyways, fam, let me know where you feel the Bitcoin price action is likely to freaking go next. I'm looking forward to reading your comments out loud. Let's get it. Here we go. Kombucha is good for your brain, people. Yes, next week. Send it. I left Vanguard. Were you really working for Vanguard, or you were invested in Vanguard, Moonstone? Let me know. BCH, February, April. Why are we talking BCH? Bitcoin Cash Trash. I don't know why. Let me know. The State Street, the top investors in the world. Thank you. So BlackRock, Vanguard, and State Street. Wow, I wasn't even familiar with State Street. Now I got to look them up, see how much they're worth. True, but I was naming the top 3. Oh, okay. Number 3, Fidelity. Number 4, Gary. Bitcoin is number 1. Who's the second best?
Which one's the best crypto asset? Well, Bitcoin's the best crypto asset. Okay. What's the second best? There is no second best.
I'm not saying I'm number 1. I'm sorry, I lied. I'm number 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5.
There you go. There you go. What is that? Coquito on me when Bitcoin is. There we go. Some good stuff right there, Larry. Thank you. Looking forward to it. 100 G's. That'll be at the Fiesta. We'll be celebrating it up. 73 G's, baby. My bear case is 126. My mid case is 220. My bull case is 326. Your thoughts on this for this cycle, right? Yeah, that's actually a little more bearish than but respect. It's ballpark. 126 as a bear case. I dig it. I at least see 6 figures as a bear case as well. So I agree. 220 is your mid case, and then bull case 3. I dig it. I dig it. If I have 5 Bitcoin, will I be rich this year? Define rich. First and foremost, what makes someone rich? Because to me, rich is more of a mindset than it is how much fiat you have in the bank. Like, hear me out. If you're sitting on $1 million of fiat in the bank, I don't think you're rich. I think you're delusional. Because those that treat fiat currency as a store of value, what do we call them, folks? You know what I mean? That's why we got to define it.
But like most of the people who are buying assets at some point want to sell the assets at a profit.
Like, for real. So let me know. And everyone has a different definition of rich and wealthy. That's why I asked, just straight up. For some people, $1 million and I'm rich. For some people, $1 million is poor. Ask Michael Saylor how he would feel if his net worth was only $1 million. Just saying, right? It's all perspective. Can't ever get enough money. My bear case, 225, mid case, 500, bull case. So there we go. Jennifer, right in alignment with me. Only I am $3,000 more bearish as my bear case is 222. Everything else right on the money. I dig it.
People that use fiat currency
What do we call them, folks?
as a store of value.
Let me know in the chat. What do we call them?
We call them poor. We call them poor.
That's right, Michael. Going to pay my first house with Bitcoin. Profit. That's what's up, Nestor. I got a mother and a father and a family, guys. That's worth more than millions. There you go. Bitcoin because F banks. Buck the Fed, buck the banks, and buck them all. Buckaroonies. Get it? Buck them all. All the buckaroonies. We call them poor. Jennifer, are those the fib levels or what? How'd you get those numbers? Puerto Rican dancers. Let's go.
People that use.
We call them Gensler. That's hilarious. What's up, JV? Greetings to all the fam. Shout out DJ Polarizer. Welcome, family. Shout out everyone here in Puerto Rico, too. And shout out to the Rumble fam holding it down. We're going to be doing a JV Reacts. It's been a minute since we did a Reacts. I'm going to be playing the new Little Bubble track. It's all going to zero. Yes, Jesus said you will always have the poor among you, says Greg. Rich. I call them rich.
Fiat currency. We call them poor. We call them poor.
I wish my parents would teach me this whole world system is corrupted. Unfortunately, our parents didn't know. Now they know. It's obvious. I think after COVID, or Novid as I call it, everyone's aware and alert, right? Times have changed. But many of us knew about the corruption and the way the world works for decades. But unfortunately, I don't think our parents knew when we were children, or they would have prepared us, right? We had to figure this ish out on our own, unfortunately. Oh my God, we're all rich, right? Spend enough around the rich people and you're over it real quick. Forget rich, find purpose, and go ham. I love that, Marty. JV, I only say I mean a catch the live when I'm on the cruise. But I understand, Serge. I was just busting your balls, to be honest with you. All good, man. All good. Voltaire, we call them poor. Yeah, our parents didn't know. Our parents made the best decisions with the knowledge they had. I just got to look at it that way, right? They made the best decisions with the limited knowledge and no internet. That obviously they didn't have internet back then. So like today, it's like, is this bullshit? Is my teacher lying to me? And you can just Google it and be like, yeah, he's full of shit. But like back in the day, it was different, yo. To get knowledge, you actually had to actually go to a library and check out books and ish and that kind of stuff. You know what I mean? It is what it is. Shout out Jim. What it do? I've been watching the markets for the last 10 years. I see a rising wedge pattern on the monthly and the yearly charts. That's where I see it going, says Jennifer. Right on. Novid, that's for sure. That's what happened. There was something called Novid occurred. It was basically just the flu renamed. I call it Novid. And then the whole world panicked and got shut down. And life got destroyed as we know it. And yeah. How easy was it to shut down the world, right? Wealth won't find meaning, but it does seem to help. What did in the Wolf of Wall Street? I've been a rich man and I've been a poor man. Hilarious. Don George, that's right. Voltaire, circa 1720. All fiat will eventually always return to its intrinsic value. Well said, Greg. Well said. Zero. People getting, dunno, yeah. Sad. Very sad. Anything for a free hamburger and french fries, right? People line up and do anything for that free hamburger. Never thought about it. Our parents didn't have the internet. Like real talk though, right, Marty? Think about the limited knowledge we would have if we had no access to the internet and it never existed. It's like, does that mean we get our news from the TV? Oh shit, we're screwed. You know what I mean? South Park made an episode back then with SARS virus. 200,000 Bitcoin minimum this cycle. Send a Jerome. I am proud to be a pure blood. Kudos to you. And shout out to all my pure bloods who weren't persuaded and coerced into doing something that could prematurely end their life. Dump liquidity, bull run cancel. What? YouTube JV. Yes, I know. I gotta slow my roll here. Thank you. Study said Gen 2Z more likely buy the crypto than the stocks. That's right. There's only 72 hours of anarchy. Just turn off the grid. I live frugally as if I don't have the money. That way, if the country goes to ish, I will be fine. That's why I even respect you even more, Jennifer. There's two types of people. One type of people, they acquire any level of wealth, and then they just need to flex on others to show how important they are. It's called a flex, right? Your ego goes out of control. Kind of like we saw with Richard Hart when he got access to billions of dollars, right? He had to flex on us, go to the Gucci store, buy up every outfit, have so many bags he can't even hold them. That's a flex. And then there's a different type of breed. There's the Satoshi Nakamoto or the Max Kaiser who will walk around with a t-shirt. And he's not trying to flex on anyone to show he's more important than you, even though he got into Bitcoin back when it was only $1 and more than likely holds billions of dollars worth of Bitcoin. Because he didn't get into Bitcoin to flex. He got in it maybe as a store of value, maybe to help change the fiat system and change it from impoverished war-driven system to something driven by peace and love and spread that word of adoption, right? There's different reasons we get into things. Money isn't bad. It isn't good either. Money is ultimately a magnifying glass. It's going to show your true colors. When you get access to wealth, right? It's going to show people who you truly are. A good person will use the wealth for good things, and a bad person will use the wealth for bad things, right? So money is neither good or bad, just as a gun is neither good or evil. A gun is just a weapon, and who decides to use the gun and what they decide to use it for will determine the outcome if it was used for good or bad, right? The Lambo flex, I mean, look at Mr. What was that? BitBoy, right? He was flexing on that Lambo so hard. In fact, they stole his Lambo and he was flexing with the Lambo with the mistress at the other guy's house trying to get it back and got the police called on him and got arrested live on stream type of flexer. You know what I mean? There's those type of flexers as well. Just saying. Been talking like a Bitcoiner lately to my friends. Nice. The greatest thing that anyone can do is to be kind, generous, and polite. No matter what you're going through, they're probably going through worse. Facts. I love that, Greg, and that's the reality. No matter how hard the struggle or adversity, there's someone going through something much worse. I just instantly think when I lived in China and I'd see all the, all the limbless children on the streets begging for money. And it's like, wow, don't really get worse than that. When you're basically an orphan or you have no parents and you have no limbs and you're on the street with a bucket or a freaking cup in your mouth begging for money. That's pretty bad, right? We don't have it that bad. We have no idea how bad other people truly have it. So you got to be grateful. And I think when you start the day with an attitude of gratitude, that's life transforming in of itself and attracts more greatness and positive energy to you guys. I thought I just sent $2,000 to this wrong wallet address, but the little patience, and I was able to find it. I need a better wallet. And he said, whoa, well, I'm glad you were able to find it, family. A lot of people aren't that lucky. I still personally love the Trezors. I think they're a great cold storage wallet, but you also have the Cold Card, you have the Tangem. There's a lot of alternative options as well that are just as good. You know what I mean? What's up with that? Yeah, what is up with that? Buy a fiat and name it Bitcoin. Andreas Antonopoulos is so entertaining. Just watch this video on this thinking ship analogy. I'm a big fan. Much respect. I owe him. If I ever see him in the flesh, I'm taking him out for a drink or whatever he's into because he's the one who orange pilled me and he doesn't even know it. 2 for 1. Most people I talk to have heard of the Bitcoin but don't really care. Funny, they have seen to realize things keep getting more expensive though. Ain't that something? Yeah, man. The guys in the suits work for the guys in the shorts. Pretty much, Scott. It's called FU money. When you get to a certain level, you just realize I don't need to wear the suit because there's no one I need to impress. That's Max Kaiser money for you. I agree, JV. Attitude of gratitude. There you go, Devon. So much to be grateful for. I'm grateful for each and every one of you actually tuning in so that I have a platform to speak and express my true self. I'm grateful for the Rumble fam and having a platform that respects our First Amendment and freedom of speech where I can speak freely and not have to worry about getting shut down, right? So I'm very grateful myself. I'm grateful for Bitcoin, right? A better option than a CBDC, the alternative, the antidote. I am very grateful for that. I'm very grateful for incorruptible money. I am very grateful for You know what I mean? Just you guys in general and what we stand for and what we represent, because it can be lonely as a Bitcoiner, keeping it 100. Not everyone can relate, but you guys sure do. So I'm very grateful for that. I'm grateful I don't work for SBF. For Christ's sake, I'd be in prison as well. No ledgers, treasures, unless you wait for the air-gapped wallet, says KJam. Good afternoon, JV. Sorry I'm late. All good, John. No need to apologize. Rich means being free to do what you want with every day. Unfortunately, it takes a lot of fiat to do unless you're homeless on the street. You got a lot of truth to that saying as well. Cold card is good. Here's something I've noticed. I've lived in very impoverished countries, and I've lived in, what would be considered richer countries like America, for example. And some of the most poorest countries in which we would consider poor had the most happiness. And for example, when I visit Nicaragua, a very poor country just north of Costa Rica, I lived in Guanacaste province, just north was Nicaragua. We do our visa runs back when I lived in Costa Rica long term. And I'd never seen such happy people. They didn't have access to vehicles. They were farm people. There's like cows and that type of lifestyle. But people were genuinely happy. Very interesting how that works. So, and then you go to New York nowadays, and how many people actually will smile at you? It's like everyone's in a bad mood. You know what I mean? Living, maybe it's just that lifestyle. So it just goes to show you, happiness starts from within. You can be a happy poor person, you can be a happy rich person, or you can be a miserable poor person or a miserable wealthy person. Money doesn't necessarily make you happy. I know that for a fact. Money doesn't change happiness. Maybe it gives you access to things that will temporarily make you happy, like maybe buying a new home. Oh, I feel great. Buying a new car. Wow, this feels great. This is amazing. But true happiness will always come from within. That, my friend, is a fact. And no amount of money can change that for true happiness. Grateful for you, JV, and the tribe. Shout out to the entire tribe, CNA, representing. Let's get it. Happiness is an attitude, not a situation. Facts. That's the bigger picture. People are grumpy in New York because the rents are crazy. And I get it. I've lived in New York, yo. I know all about it firsthand. I live in the province in the Philippines, and the people are so happy. That's a beautiful thing. Like when I went to Thailand, the people were genuinely happy, and they were just normal people working regular jobs, but they smiled quite a lot. And that's, it speaks volumes, just saying. But anyways, fam, we're going to continue with the uncensored version of the pod exclusively on Rumble. So head on over to Rumble right now. It's just like a YouTube community, only it's different name. It's called Rumble. And we can speak uncensored over there, and I don't got to worry about getting canceled and all that kind of stuff with cancel culture going crazy this year and in the previous years. But nonetheless, let's all head on over to Rumble and continue with the uncensored version of the show. And I also have a JV React session for you, so it's going to be pretty lit. Head on over to Rumble right now. It's rumble.cryptonewsalerts.net. And let's get this mofo started, shall we? Here we go. All right, deuces to the Rumble fam. YouTube stream should be ending any moment.